Hey there everybody, DMO73 here, bringing you the deck profile for the Burning Tree Emissary list that was sent to me by Josh. I really like this list a lot. Malefic Tree is way more fun and strong than I initially gave it credit for. Definitely have to give that some props, and props to him for making such a cool list and letting me play it for the channel. The name, it comes from a term, some kind of reference to magic. I'm sorry, I don't really understand it myself, but that's the name he gave it, so that's what we're sticking with. So obviously Yggdrasil, Malefic Verdant Tree is our ruler. Doesn't have a J ruler side. It has Energize for wind, and it just says, prevent all damage that would be dealt to you. For every 100 damage dealt this way, you mill the top card of your deck, that many cards, to your RFG zone. And then for 1 green, 1 black, and tapping, you can put the Corrupted Melgis, Corrupted Rezzard, Corrupted Arla, or Corrupted Machina from your RFG into the field. So primarily you're just using this to help you bring out your creatures, and it's a lot about using versatility, and as well as you play a 60 card deck, so you have some pretty cool backup stuff that comes along with that. So moving into the stones, we play 4 Rulers Memoria, because we are a 4-color deck, and there's some nice Regalia in this. So it's just having access to the Memoria is just really nice to be able to make things work with, especially with Tree's effect. 3 Blasting Waves, and then 3 Ebon Homes for black-red. And the nice thing about that is, we might be paying a life, we also might not be. And free information is always good when you have to get to exile a card from your opponent's deck. Moving into the Resonators, there are a lot. We play 4 Tamas for some draw power, as well as being able to banish to deal damage. 4 Guineveres, again, for draw power. 4 Verdandis. This helps us get cards RFG'd out of our hand and also draw power. And then she eventually becomes 10/10, which is really, really good. 4 Lancelots, because we want to try to push in damage fast. I mean, the primary way this deck wins is by pushing in damage quickly. So kind of a rush deck, or I guess an aggro deck in that sense. So we have the Lancelots to go with that. And then we play 4 of the Vell-Savarian Apparition. This card is great because you can take damage, mill it from the top of your deck, and then you get a free creature. I've had it happen where my opponent has hit me turn 1, and then I've gotten this turn 1 before I've even had a turn. So I start the game with a 4/4 on board. It's pretty nice. And then 2 Volgas, who's kind of our backup here. Our deck is 60 cards, so we can play Torching the Timeline, and it's very easy to just play Volga and then Torching the Timeline him for a bunch of damage, and then kill your opponent. And then for the Corrupteds, we play 3 Rezzards, 2 Melgis, 2 Arla, and then 1 Machina. The reason we don't care about, we don't play as many is because we do kind of recycle them a lot. Melgis is an excellent finisher. You can play 3,000 life and make him a 1,700. So if your opponent just decides not to block, you can just pump up. And your life is definitely a resource with this deck since you're not taking damage. And then to go into the Regalia, we play 2 Orb of Illusions. This is because we have a ruler that doesn't have a J ruler side, so we can use the magic counters for draw power. 3 Artemis bows, just to kind of help a little bit, make trades possible, boost damage up from like Lancelot and stuff. 4 Ifrit glasses, so that we have a way to recycle stuff from the RFG outside of Memory and Disappearance. And then 4 Deathscythes, because we can pitch these to the grave with Guinevere and then use them to have exile our graveyard. In the spells, we play 4 Memory of Disappearance. This is so that we can grab cards from the RFG that we need. I wish it was instant speed, but still being able to pay 1 and just grab whatever card you need is really nice. 4 Torching the Timeline. It's a removal spell as well as a secondary win condition once your deck gets milled enough. 1 Destructive Assault, just to pop pesky additions of Regalia. 2 Final Battles, because board wipes can, aggro decks can kind of blow us out if they go too fast. Just by making us mill so much, and we don't really care about paying life, so. 2 Barrier Seal, this is to help us make sure that everything's going to get RFG'd, as well as another way to get all of our stuff from the RFG, or graveyard to RFG. 2 Amaterasu's Foresight. This is really nice because we can recycle it, especially at instant speed with Vell-Savarian, if we're trying to kind of stall out a little bit of time or we might be close to decking out. Well, 1 Black Moonbeam because J-Rulers are still a thing, and if we mill it early, we can grab it back with Ifrit Glas, which is always nice. And then 1 Severing Winds. In the same way, we can bring it back with Ifrit Glas, which is really nice. We can use it multiple times. So there you have it. That is the deck, all 60 cards of it. I hope you guys liked it. I had a blast playing it. Definitely recommend giving this deck a try. Give it a few times before you get to the hang of it. It is very, it's not as easy to pilot as I thought it would be at the beginning, and it definitely has a lot of decision trees to make, but it's got a lot of toolbox options too, which I think makes it really, really fun. So go ahead and let me know what you guys think about the deck, what you would do differently. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and share out the video to all your Force of Will 11 friends. And until next time, this is DMO73, signing off.